just want to show you this. This is the stud that we did get out of the head earlier for the rocker cover, and I don't know whether you can see that, but there's a massive bend in it. So regardless of the fact that we couldn't get the other one out, gonna have to replace both of them anyway. So that was a fruitless task, of which there are many, it seems, when you're trying to rebuild an engine. What we have here though is the rocker. Let's zoom in. I've given it a little bit of a pre-clean, so I've had it in the parts washer, but really what it needs in order to get into the oil galleries and everything is a strip down. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to on the end of this, hopefully you can see that, we've got a circlip, so we're going to get a pair of pliers and take that off, and then take it apart piece by piece. Now I did one of these recently, and part of it, I think these specifically, need a bit of persuading, so we'll see what we have to do. So here we have a pair of circlip pliers. Let's just show you what we do with them. So going to line them up with the holes here. I'm going to put it back over here so we can catch anything that goes on. Don't want it to ping off, and then we squeeze, and that, oh well, we're there. Let's get it back on, so we squeeze, and then we should be able to lift that off, which we can. Now we want to put this all back together in the same order. So I'm going to carefully take things off. Now there's usually, yeah, there's a small shim there. And yep, that's not budging. So this does come off. It's just going to need a little bit of persuading. And I'm going to do them one at a time. So what we're going to do, and we're going to move you round here, so let's see if we can get you in focus. So the end of a vice here, what we're going to do is put it on and hit this until it comes off, which it surely will. So back with a mallet. Oh, that came off quite nice and easy compared with the one I did the other day. It's close, just can't quite get it off. Go. It's going to come. Oh. Oh, and there we go. Came off a bit quicker at the end then than I was expecting. Bring it back round so you can see we have our parts still. So before I do anything else, I'm actually going to give these a wash, but I'm going to do it in order so that I can put them back in order. That's the important thing here for me. So I'm going to take each one at a time and have it ready. So here's a clean one. Got a bit of actual kind of metal colour to it, and here's the dirty one. Got a very oily, horrible dark look to it. Hopefully you can see the difference there. And that's why we're cleaning this up. Next we're going to clean this little aluminium piece. You can see the dirt and grime that's in there, so it's not looking the best. So let's see what we can do. And hopefully you can see the difference here as well. You can even read the words if you can there, Fiat 110F, which were indecipherable before, so we cleaned up that nicely. Put that there. Just going to clean these as well very gently because I don't want to lose them. So I've now cleaned up both these parts of the rocker and the middle pit here, and those. So now we've got the rest of our shaft. So the key for me here is that it all goes back on the right order, so I need to make sure that I keep this orientation the same. Going to remove this. This is quite clean now after earlier wash, but I'm just going to make sure I get the inside of it. So that's clean and back there. Should be able to slide this one off. And now I clean this one up. So that's cleaned up. Now I can take this side off again with our circlip. Just put it in the holes and move it back over here so it doesn't ping off. Open it up by squeezing, and there we can take it off, and this will also have a shim, so I want to lay that down there. There's the shim. Just all we're going to clean this up. So something I forgot to show you on this rod earlier is that it has a groove cut into it here, and it has one under this piece as well. So where these fixings sit, it has that, and if you can just see, there's a little kind of oil hole there, and it allows the oil to travel round and through. So when I come to put this back on, I need to make sure I line it up there. The first thing I need to do is knock this last one off. So I'm going to do that off camera. That's now off, and we'll take that to the parts washer to wash that up as well. So I've cleaned up all my bits. The last thing to do is this rod. I'm going to try and keep it in this orientation so that it goes back together exactly the way it came apart. So let's see how I get on. This is now clean. I've also blown compressed air through the holes here to make sure any debris or old oil is removed. So that can go back on there, and now we can start reassembly. Now, to do reassembly, I think the easiest way to do it is to get one of these on first. So we're going to take this one, and if you remember, we need to line this kind of disc bit here, the cutout, with this bit here. So I'm just going to go over to the vise and just gently knock it on. So there we have it, that's the first one on. I'm going to slide this on, so that's in place. Then slide this one on. And actually, before I do this, I'm just going to give it a little bit of oil. Hopefully you can see this. Oh, it's a little bit too much oil. There we go. Not expecting that to pump quite so much there. Right, so we got this one on first. Then we're going to put this one on, get that oil moving about a bit. Then we're going to put our shim on. Very small shim, but it just stops any end float. And then I want to pick up our circlip. Trying to get this all on camera, so not the easiest thing to do. Okay, so we've got our circlip, going to open it up, put it over the top. Hopefully it's get into place. Just might need to help it out a little bit. It's almost there. Myself a small screwdriver just to push this in. Now this one's a little bit tight on here, which means that we need to knock this down a little bit. Now it becomes a lot looser because we've moved the middle piece here. This is nice and loose as well. Now we put on our middle piece of our shaft. Again, we're just going to give it just a touch of oil just to help it all move back together. There we go. This rocker now goes on. You can't see that, so we're just giving it a bit of oil. That rocker's gone on. Sorry, very difficult to look at the camera and see what you're recording at the same time, so apologies. Now we can knock this one on. Just going to give a little bit of oil to help it on. Go back over to the vise and knock it through. So that's now on. It's not quite in the right position, but oh, I think it is now. No. Trying to get those lined up and make sure it's still where it needs to be. Final one can go on now. Let's make sure we get it right around. There we go. Put our shim on. And finally our second circlip. Here we go. Let's make sure we've got this on camera. Over we go. Adjust the circlip pliers a little bit. Just help it with the screwdriver. There we go. And that's in all the way around. It is in all the way around. It's got a bit of a slight bit of end float there. So we might need to adjust it, but fundamentally we have our rocker, nice, clean, rebuilt. Look at that, looks great compared to what it looked like at the beginning.